Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. My name is Patty, and I don't know if you have ever watched my videos before, so I'm going to share a little bit real quick while we're sort of waiting if anybody wants to come in. So I do a tarot, but I also do, it's very intuitive tarot, and it's also very divine driven tarot, but I also do astrology and numerology because we're all energy. Everything is energy, as everything is based from energy. So when I do the full moon readings, and this is going to be an exciting one because we have a lunar eclipse. Now it's a partial lunar eclipse, but it's also very close to being a full eclipse. So it's going to bring some very intense energies. So if you've been watching my readings, a lot of I touched about the future energy is more astrology. The current energy is what's happening with maybe you or going on with your spirit right now. And then I do have a card that taps into divine's energy and helps you. It's a message to you, basically. So when I do these readings about astrology, what I do is I do the astrology part, the energies part first, and then I'll go into a reading and seeing as a collective what is going on generally. But I will tell you that most of the time when I do my readings, it's the Divine's card and the astrology card are almost the same thing because it is an energy that is trying to guide us, move us, and teach us how to walk in our journeys and our lessons. So I hope you enjoy this, and please don't forget to like, share, subscribe. If you do, most of my readings and anything I do is live because I think it's really important to leave the chat open. If somebody in a reading is having an issue, then we actually try to address that at the end if it's not related to what we're talking about. Or you're always, always, always able to email me with your questions, concerns, things that are going on. I do have, as you can see below, I don't know if it's on this one or not, a lot of videos. I'm a life coach, spiritual coach, and sort of a dating coach. I don't really do a lot of that, but I have a lot of experience in that. So I do try to help people get through their challenges and how to persevere. That's my strength, is how to persevere and have resilience through this huge, huge world. So let's get started because this is why you're here. Now, when we do the full moon reading or a new moon reading, what we have to look at is the planets that are going on around it. So, not just the full moon is happening. So, you have to imagine the solar system is always moving, and then the planets around that are always moving, or there's stars that are moving, those kind of things. So, we have to look at everything in a full aspect. This full moon is with a lunar eclipse, but it also is with several trines. What does that mean for you? That means it is an intense, intense energy. If you've watched my readings in your signs, you will find that you've been going through a lot of crap, a lot of secrets, a lot of Scorpio energy, a lot of dark things, things that are coming to the surface, things that people don't want to talk about, things of that nature. And even in the last new moon reading, you were going to see that as well. That's what's sort of coming to to an end. This is a great thing. This is a movement. We're moving through with the full moon in Taurus. We're moving not only through Taurus energy, but we have Aquarian energy in there with some of the other planets. But we have a really, really strong Scorpio presence. Okay, with some of the planets that are going on. So the full moon is on the 19th, which is tomorrow. And you really get the energies a couple of days before and then a couple of days after. So if you feel things starting to get intense, and what I'm going to say is more intense, sort of look at this full moon as like big stress, release, or relax. Big stress, relax. It's sort of this dance that's going on between stress and relaxing. Now, and it's because of the Taurus and Aquarian energy. Because with the Taurus energy, this deals with our root chakra. It deals with a lot of our safety issues of security and things like that. It also, if you go to the other end, it deals with finance and baking, not baking, banking and economy and our food supply system. I listened to this one astrologer, and she is right on point. She was talking about how things are going to get really hard in our full food supply system. She did that about 6 to 8 months ago. And she says it's going to get hard. So to really focus on more of your local foods, because these corporations, big corporations, are going to really have a hard time supplying us with the foods. And what's happening right now, I went to the store and one head of lettuce was $3. I'm like, are you kidding me? Last week it was $1.79. So we really have to take a heed what is happening with our planets and things of that nature. So a couple of really interesting things. Hang tight, because you're going to have to go back to 2002 and wonder what you were doing back then. So let's go with this. So I'm going to go back. I'm not going to go back before the 17th, because that's the new moon energy. If you want to watch that, it is applying to right now because it's heavy in Scorpio energy. So I'm just going to go back to the 17th, because that's when these full moon energies start. Okay. So we had on the 17th, Mars and Venus versus Mars was sort of opposite of Venus. And that brought a really conflictive energy. And what it meant was that we have sort of this urge to do something or need to do something. I feel like I got to do it right now. I got to do it right now. And you feel you want to do that, but you're not taking into account. So this is yesterday. So did you have that energy? Like, I really need to get this done. I really need to do it, but didn't take into account the consequences it may have later, the ripple effect it may have later. If you did, go back and retract or just think about it again, because these energies are happening right now today. So if you get into this thing today where you're like, I got to do this, I got to make sure, think about the consequences. Is it going to have a good outcome or a bad outcome, or is it going to be a ripple effect and could it cause more conflict later on? That's a really huge thing, because remember, we got this dance between stress and relaxing and resting going on. All right. Today's really huge, because today we have two huge trines going on. We have Mercury and Neptune, and then we have Venus and Uranus trines going on. What does that mean? Mercury is all about communication. So we communicate our dreams. We communicate things that we want to create. We talk about things of that. And Neptune's a very creative planet. So we want to sort of begin to think about those things. But with this other trine happening on at the same time, you're more attracted to things that are like out of the box. You're like, oh, this sounds really interesting. I've never done that before. So let me see if I can do that. These two trines are going to bring those energies of really wanting to maybe expand and understand what you're doing and where you want to go, and maybe have a little bit of creative juices. How are you going to do that? But it's going to be something maybe new to you. Several of you guys in the readings have had that novice energy, and the number 5 come up a lot. Something very new, something very unstable, trying to learn something. So these energies are happening right now. And so what the interesting thing is with this full moon, remember we got the eclipse. We've got so much going on here. With the eclipse, these trines are really, really important along with this full moon. The trines are almost more important than the full moon, but they all carry a different weight. And the reason why, with this full moon, it is close to the north node. Okay. And the north node can actually bring a lot of sense of going like into the future, thinking about the future, trying to manifest in the future. This is about positiveness. It's about hope. Remember, most of you guys were having trouble this whole month of November or October, beginning of October, of having a sense of things just like are being really hard, and you got to repeat them. This is that sense of hope that things are moving forward. We're moving out of it, and we are. Okay, so that's what's going on with this. These are sort of like times, these few days, actually probably till the end of November, you're going to begin to start to have thoughts of, I'm moving forward. I'm finally getting out of this. You're sort of seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. You're sort of like seeing the future. You're seeing the top of the mountains, the top of the trees. You're finally, walking out of the forest, this Scorpio energy. So you want to move faster. However, it's not going to move fast. It's accelerating, but it's not accelerating to the fast pace that every human being wants it to. Let's just get this pandemic over. Let's stop wearing these masks. It's not going to happen quite yet. So the other thing that's happening is Saturn is sextiling Chiron. What is that? What does that mean? That's really important, because this is the third time that This sextile is happening. This is the last one of the year. And what is important about that? This is a time to ground yourself. How are you grounding yourself? Where are you grounding yourself? Where is your foundation? Where are things happening for you? And where are you putting your energies? Are you complaining a lot? Are you moaning and groaning a lot? Are you looking more at the low vibrational grounding? That is where you're setting your foundation. If or are you being more positive and hopeful, and I'm going to get out of this, things are going to be fine, things are working out, even if they don't work out to 100% the way that you want them, they are working out the way that you want them to. So this is that energy of the Saturn Chiron sextile. See how these planets play around this full moon? There is so much different energies happening. We have to pay attention to how it is affecting us in our life and how we can move forward. And the way I would say move forward is in a positive light. We are actually headed that way. We're finally headed out of that Scorpio energy. The thing is, towards the 20th, after the full moon, these energies begin to build, and these energies begin to sort of build in a, and you got to be really, really mindful in the way that you move, because they're building in exaggeration. So from the 20th to the end of the month, things begin to become more exaggerated, sort of like you listen to people and you wonder, are they telling me the truth? Are they telling me a story? Really be mindful what you're listening to, what you're watching. A lot of people watch the news. There's going to be a lot of things coming with the countries, like, you know, head of state, the United States, the head of companies, head of things. Things are, you're going to find a lot of these CEO kind of things, they're going to either resign, a lot of things that are going to happen in that nature. And that's for a different topic, but it's a time to push. This is the end of the month, is a time to push forward for what your hopes, your dreams are, what you want to work in a positive manner, because it has, this is sort of the time to say, okay, I went through the hard stuff. I'm going through the hard stuff. The Scorpio energy is there, but here's the clicker, is that whatever let me finish with the Scorpio energy thing first, because the Scorpio energy has been overlying, but the end of the month, things are going to come out. Things are really great around Thanksgiving. Things are actually moving up and in more into the light and everything like that. And maybe some of that hard stuff that you were trying to get the elephant out of the room in October, because I talk to you guys a lot about saying what you mean what you say, get the elephant out of the room, get the secrets out, get the things that really are really hard for you to talk about out. Remember, I talked about that because that was Scorpion energy. That's coming to light right now. So things that were really, really hard, if they haven't come to light, these are going to come to light right now with this Scorpion energy. All right. Because we have several more trines through the end of the month. I won't go into them. But it opens up doors. This is going to be like the Mercury sextile Pluto. We've got the sun moving in Sagittarius, very overwhelming energy. On the 24th, we have Mercury and the sun conjuncting, and it's in a Sagittarian energy. What is that? Is how far we're going to go, how far we're going to think, how far our mind will allow us to go. See, we sometimes limit ourselves. So we can have this energy to really think, and then we'll have that low energy come in to squash it. That's that low, deep, dark energy that we want to release and let go. Okay, so, but then on the 29th, we've got several trines. We've got Mars and Neptune. We got Mercury and Chiron. We've got Mercury sextiling Saturn. We've got, on the 29th, there is a phenomenal amount of energy happening, that is the time to push forward. So start thinking about where and what you want to push forward through and on. This is that perseverance and resilience time, because this is the time that it's actually going to give you hope and moving positive into a positive nature. All right. This is a time to build and to dream about what you really want. What is your purpose? What is your calling? This is what you really, really want to do. This is the time to ask questions, time to say, how do I do that? How do I get the resources to do that? How am I able to do that? Who can I talk to help me do that? That kind of a thing. This is a really time to push for what you really, really want. Because the thing is, with this Scorpio energy, remember, Scorpio is a very, if you were to imagine a sort of a a swampy thing that you just really don't want to go into because it's really nasty, it's murky, it's dirty, you don't know what's in there. This is somebody's secrets in their mind. This is how you relate it to a human being. There is some secrets, or there is something that there's dark that you don't want to it's you don't want to bring to the surface. You don't want to talk about it. You don't want to, you want to just push it in the corner. Sort of like what I talked to you guys about when I talk about when I came out and did the 3 series, the 1, 2, 3 series on sexual abuse. How about my story and how to actually survive it, heal from it, and live with it. Those things, that's what I'm talking about. Something is probably going to come out that's trying to bubble up, and you need to get that out because you, this is the end of the month, is the time to get rid of those negative, low vibrational energies that keep you blocked. This is a time of energy blockage and a blockage to release it. Because on the 29th, I think it's the 29th. Let me look here. I think on the 29th, is it the 29th? Is the time, it's a time where the blockage is going to open up. And the thing with the eclipse, what really cool is about the eclipse is that it's a really I don't know how to explain it. It's just sort of like a really light veil that is between the first and second dimension. And this is a time where you are allowed to open up your energies and actually hear or feel. Your intuition is going to be a lot stronger. You might feel energies a little bit more. This is where our supernatural side is able to open up. And so our crown chakras, our eye chakra, you know, our opening of our supernatural side is the time for that. Okay, really, really, really strong. But what I was talking about before, I don't remember where I put the notes. So the thing is that what's going on right now, really pay attention. You know, in history and in this earth kind of a thing, we repeat patterns. Okay, repeat patterns. So this moon in Taurus hasn't happened since 2002. So now we're repeating this pattern again. So this is the thing I said, what were you doing in 2002? This is a repeat pattern. So whatever you were doing in 2002 or things were happening in 2002, let's hope that they were good things, because the moon in Taurus, whatever that is going to probably repeat right now. Okay, so whatever that is, because we go through repeat cycles. History goes through repeat cycles. We're going through a pandemic. They had polio way back then. Every, what is it, 30 years, we go through a repeat cycle of what the moon and the earth and the planets are doing. So this is a time to repeat that cycle with the moon in Taurus. So that's how long it's been since we've had a moon in Taurus. So what was happening back then? Do you remember? I couldn't tell you what was going on with me in 2002 because I go through so many things in my life. I would have no clue. And just, you know, towards the end of this month, look for some little welcome. We're looking, you know, look towards, you know, possible maybe surprises, little shakeups, something that's going to come about. Now, a lot of people think, oh, that's not good. You don't know what it is. We don't know if it's positive or negative. We don't know if it's in finance. We don't know if it's in love, but there's going to be some type of surprises towards the end of the month, because there is a heavy Aquarian energy there. Okay. And there's always two sides to a planet and all these energies. That's why I don't go really deep into the sextiles and the trines, because each planet has a very positive side, yin, and then that has a yang side. So we have a shadow side for the planets, and then we have a very positive side for the planets. All right. So I try not to focus in on the shadow side, but I have to look. And that's the same with human beings. We don't really want to look at the dark side of us, that Scorpio mucky energy side, because those are deep secrets that we want to keep from everybody else. Only divine can see them, so why keep them? Because you can heal from them. However, that Scorpion energy, we really don't want to look at, but we really would love to look at that Venus, Uranus energy, sort of free-flowing, creative love energy. But we have to look at both to balance life. All right. So that is pretty much what is going on. This is a time where we want to push through forward with old patterns, getting rid of them. Remember, I said this is a new cycle. This is a repeating cycle from 2002. So what is happening? These are things we want to sort of push away, those, not push them away, but release them. And that's why you're going to have this Scorpion energy. Now, some of your readings this last week, we went into Thanksgiving, or I'm going into Thanksgiving. I'm going into Thanksgiving. A lot of these energies I'm looking at from the planet side. I'm looking from what downloads, what divine gives me at the same time. And I'm looking at the energies of what's going on in your life. So my head is full of all kinds of downloads as I'm doing your readings. And what's happening is, if you are getting together and with a family this Thanksgiving, or if you're going to go with friends, somebody's going to try to create a kerfuffle, because that Scorpion energy just likes to dig and bring up the dirt. So you want to try to diffuse that. Stay away from that. Bring up the hope, the positive, and the light from that, okay? Because Mercury is catching up with the sun on the 28th. That's after that. So, but the thing is, what that means is that when it catches up, Mercury is all about communication. Mercury is about how we present ourselves and what we want to say. That's why these readings in the last 2 weeks, you keep hearing me say what you mean what you say, because this over exaggeration, these energies from all that's happening in the end of the month with the sextiles and the trines. I'm talking about the sextiles and the trines a lot, because these are huge flippin' energies that are going to be intensified and exaggerated. So exaggeration is huge towards the end of the month. Be really leery of that, if it is positive exaggeration or not, okay? Because that is not only the Saturn Chiron energy, but it is also a huge thing with Mercury, okay? And then towards the end of the month, it's really a good thing. Okay, so you guys, we're finally getting into some of the good meat of all that hard work. If you haven't done the hard work, you're going to have to go back and do that Scorpion energy. Bring that secret up, get that elephant out of the closet. Somebody's cheated on you. You need to get that out of the closet. You need to put that back. You need to stay with them and accept it and move forward, or you need to leave and let them go their way, you go your way. This is a time where we need to push through, right? Because things are beginning to unfold for the future. This is really a time for things to unfold for the future. These are the times, again, that we want to ask the questions. No, there's no right or wrong question. It's just for your journey. Is it for me or is it not? This is a time to, when you're having struggles with somebody, the reason why you're having a struggle with somebody, I don't fight. I don't fight anymore. I go and I give my perspective. If there is, as a boss, I have to give my perspective why I'm doing things, because they're not in my head. They haven't had, 50 years of management experience. They have had 20 years on this earth, let alone probably 10 years, maybe not even 10 years, 5 years of work experience. They don't understand where my head is. So this is a time to get somebody else's perspective before you get your own. These are the energies. These are the Saturn and Sun sextile energies, opposite energies, to get somebody's perspective and your perspective. These are the Venus sextile energies with Neptune. So that at the end of the month, we've got Venus sextiling Neptune. We got the Sun sextiling Saturn. We've got Mercury finally catching up with the Sun. We've got all kinds of things happening with the other planets. So what you really want to do at the end of this month with this full moon eclipse, this Scorpio, this Aquarius, these sextiles and trine energies, is listen to somebody else's perspective before you either make a judgment, which we really shouldn't be judging anybody, getting their idea, because it may open that door. Again, it's unfolding. The end of the month, things are beginning to unfold into the way that they are meant to be in this big universe of energy. Okay, that's how that is happening. Okay, so when we do that, then we're actually going to see that things are, the old ways, the things that don't work are breaking down, and the new ways are actually coming forward. All right, so let's go to a reading, and like I said, these are open chats. And if there's anything that you want to go through, I'm sorry, I'm just listening to which cards I'm supposed to go to first, because I don't know if they want me to go to an oracle or to a card. Okay, so if you always ever have any questions, that's why the live chats are there. Okay, thank you. And so we'll just see what Now, this here for you guys that are brand new to my channel or just watching for the first time, this is where I bring in divine. You know, I pray before and I, you know, am surrounded by light and protected by light. I don't allow low vibration in. I do share some of the things that are going in low vibration with you guys, but I do not allow low vibration in because that allows another door to open in the second dimension. I don't want it. I don't want it in my house. Yeah. Definitely. Okay. So a lot of the energies that we were just talking about with that, we have definitely about human ego. A lot of you guys had human ego in your readings this week. This is that ego comes from pain, ego comes from fear. So we have two ways that we run our life. We either run our life in love and confidence and kindness and compassion, or we run it in fear. If you know somebody that is, we sometimes call them an a-hole, but if you know somebody's that way, why are they being that way? Or you say they're narcissistic, why are they being that way? Is it because of their ego, or is it because of the pain that they have grown up with that created that? And now that pain could be from a different source, many different sources. However, it creates an ego. What is ego? Ego is human. Ego is that darker scorpion energy where we can actually hide our secrets, hide who we really are, keep that mask on, and show somebody who we are. Now, I have somebody at work, extreme high pride, extreme ego. I wouldn't say a narcissist. I would say very lonely, very scared, very sad. And it's sad to watch this person because they really want love. Okay. This is that energy that is happening at the end of the month. You unfold it the way that you want it to. You manifest it the way that you want your future to go, positive or low vibrational. There is a doctor that I started listening to. Now I can't stop listening to her. And I strongly suggest, if you like to learn about your brain, learn about supernatural, you got to like God and you got to love divine, because talks about, she's a neuroscientist, and she talks about our relationship between our brain and science and actually the supernatural and how it works. Her name is Dr. Caroline Leaf from South Africa. Again, Leaf, Dr. Caroline, I think it's Caroline Leaf. And phenomenal information on how our brain works supernaturally, subconsciously, and how we bring things into our mind. It's phenomenal. This is what I'm talking about, though. When it comes to this, we have to really understand, again, the end of the month, getting out of that perspective of our perspective, because we already know who we are and what we have. We need to learn the other person's perspective. So that's what I'm saying. As I step out of the box, and I don't get mad at him, I think, wow, you're very disrespectful, which that is not okay. Anybody being disrespectful is not okay. However, what I'm looking at is, I'm really sad for you because you are really lonely. This guy can't get a date. He can't get a girlfriend. He can't get anything. And if he does, they don't last but one date because of the way that his pain is controlling him, his feelings. Okay. Then we remember our future energy. What did we just say? We are unfolding things. Things are beginning to open up. At the end of the month, I think it was the 28th, 29th, something around there, when we have these energies with all the trines, things are beginning to unfold. This is the movement. This is the movement. I can't make this stuff up. This is number 4. Remember, we talked about this is your grounding time with the planets. This is the time that we need to push forward. This is the Saturn Sextile with Chiron energy. This is the grounding time. Are you going to ground yourself in a positive light? Because as you move forward, this world is ugly. Be the light that shines in somebody's day, because you might be the only light they see that day. Okay. And we don't know what's going on behind their closed doors. So, they could be having a hell in their house and they come out just to get away from it. And then they are reacting from the hell that they just left. So we need to be the light that shines. And this is the movement forward. Okay, this is the movement forward. This is your forward energy. This is the astrology energy, but this is also divine energy. Divine's energy is energy. So he creates everything, but this is the divine energy saying, how are you going to move? How are you going to think? I'm unfolding this now. Some of you, this is the number 9. The number 9 is about intensity. When we look at the numerology parts, remember, I look at numerology, the astrology, and what divine is downloading to me at the same time. And at the end of the month, I'm going to have lots of downloads. I wish I could have my 1,000 subscribers so I could come on to you alive. This is why I said I would love to have 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year so I can come on to you live on my phone. I can't do downloads until I have 1,000 subscribers. I can't do live until I have 1,000 subscribers on my phone because I don't have 1,000 subscribers. So YouTube says no. So I get these downloads like these other tarot readers, and it's like, oh, I just wish I could go on and say it. Anyway, that's coming forward in the future. Anyway, so we do have a lot of movement coming forward. Okay, this is good movement. This is if you have gotten the elephant out of the room, if you've done the hard work, if you have actually looked at some of those secrets and brought them to the table. And if you're in an intimate relationship, I'm going to give you a dating coach or a marriage coach tip. If your partner doesn't know about your secrets, shame on you, because that is the thing that helps build that bond closer. They need to know what really triggers you. Like in sexual abuse, when I talked about that, if I didn't tell my partner about my intimate triggers and he triggers me and I pull back, how is he going to understand why I'm pulling back? That's a deep, dark thing for me, but I have to share that in order to move forward and have a deeper bond. So what is that scorpion deep dark thing that you haven't come out of the closet with that you need to do now before the end of the month so you can unfold that bond and that closer unification with your partner? That's a coaching and dating tip. Okay. Move forward in a positive energy, because I'll guarantee it. The more vulnerable you are with your partner, the more closer your bond will be. All right. Now I'm going to stop coaching. And yes, if you want coaching or if you want to do that, you can go to my divinewarriorintuitive.com and do that. Okay. See that kind of thing. Or just email me your questions. I do questions for free all the time. And in fact, I've done Skypes and FaceTime for free for people. Hopefully, it's helped them, especially with their empath abilities, their supernatural abilities, things that are happening to them supernaturally that they don't understand. I hope I walk with them and help them through that. And it's really amazing to be able to do that for people around the world. I think the last girl was in Germany, and she just sent me a beautiful letter not too long ago, how it's really just opened up some doors for her to understand and not be afraid. All right, so let's see what the cards are going to say here. And you know what? I sort of laugh because the cards are a resource, and I use them to sort of tell a story. I see a movie when I see these, so I don't know who this is for. Again, it's collective, and it could be for everybody, but I don't think so because everybody isn't the same sign. So remember I talked to you about something being exaggerated at the end of the month. Now remember, some things can be exaggerated to a negative. When we talk about an exaggeration, this could be a positive energy or a negative energy. You have to be careful. If you're an empath or if you can feel energies like I do, you have to really listen to those energies. If 2 plus 2 is not adding up to 4, you need to question that, because something isn't quite hidden. I mean, it isn't told. Somebody's not being truthful. Somebody's being deceitful. Somebody's lying. Somebody is doing that. Now, on the other end, there is somebody shamed or shameful for something that they have gone through. Remember that scorpion secret? There is somebody that has gone through something that they don't want to get that elephant out of the room. That this is something really deep and hard for you to talk about. This is something that you should not feel shamed about, especially if you were a victim of something. You should not be shamed about that. You should be confident in knowing you survived it. You're now living and you're making it, and you're persevering and you're becoming resilient. You're becoming a beautiful open being. This is these open energies that are going to be opening up towards the 28th. This is the veil that is going to be lightened. So on the eclipse, tomorrow, you might even start feeling an energy that you've never felt before in a good way, saying, you know what? Yeah, I really do need to release this. I do need to tell somebody. Don't tell somebody that you don't trust. But if this is a partner that you need to share something with, especially if it's about a sexual abuse that you've had in the past, I'm sorry, ladies, sorry, guys, you need to share that with somebody. If you've gotten an STD that you have, that's going to be with you for the rest of your life, like herpes or something like that, you have to share that. That is a deep, dark, shameful secret, but some people have gotten it by some people not being told that they had it, and then finally they were inflicted with it. So, you know what? That's just some hypotheticals, but you have to share those things. For somebody else, definitely be careful towards the end of the month. This is ego. This is pride here. People lie and are deceitful because of fear, because of their grounding. Remember that grounding energy? We've got to really build that grounding energy up and not to keep it low and suppressed. All right. You've got the sun and you've got let's see, the 7 of Wands in the center of your reading. Okay. So remember, these are energies from basically yesterday through the end of the month. Somebody is trying to stand up for what they believe in. The way that you stand up for yourself is that they're standing up for what they believe in, what they want, what they desire, taking the mask off and being your authentic self, finally saying, like I did, you know what? I'm tired of hiding my spiritual side. I'm tired of hiding my, I'm tired of hiding my abilities that God has given me, because when I hide them, I don't give God the glory for what he's given me, my intuition, my empath. I can feel energies. I know when somebody's lying to me. Can't lie to me, unfortunately. If I don't find out now, divine will show it very shortly. So definitely. Then if you're hiding yourself, putting your mask on of who you're not supposed to be, you're denying God the glory that he gave you of who you're supposed to be created to be. Okay, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense. However, somebody's, well, standing up for themselves in that aspect. Okay, that's a good thing. You know why? Because look what's on both sides. You have support, you have love, you have energy, you have a release. Remember that moving forward energy, you're bringing it so that you're going to move in light and love, because on both sides, when you have the sun, that's about releasing, that's exposing. It's not over exaggerating. Be careful not to over exaggerate. Just share the facts. Don't go into a full blown story, ladies. A lot of ladies sit there and they like to share too much. It's like if you're speaking with men, another dating coach, get to the facts, get to the answer. That's all they want, because their brain works differently. So the thing is, less words, the better. Do you want to go to the movies? Well, I don't know. Just yes or no. Well, no, they just want to know yes or no. Do you want to go to the movies? We tend to, ladies, too many words, too many words. Now, when you're trying to get somebody's perspective or you're trying to give your perspective, you may have to clarify, but it doesn't take a lot of words. Just clarify. What did you mean by that? Oh, I just don't like to go to the movies. Okay. Yeah. Type of thing. Okay. You're standing up for what you want, what you believe in, and what you need. And they're going to actually accept that, and they're going to love you and care for you in that manner. That's the Empress energy. Now, this also too could be another thing for another person. This is not for everybody, but through this process of releasing, getting rid of the Scorpion energy, whatever it is, it may also make a child, because somebody wants to have a child. Somebody wants to be pregnant or is pregnant. Maybe that's what you're afraid to share. Thank you. He's talking about somebody's afraid to share that they're pregnant. So the thing is, you don't run from it. Don't run away from it. Run to it, because that child is a blessing. Whichever way that child comes into the world, that child is a blessing. It's supposed to happen. Okay. So I don't know who that's for, but that is for somebody. Look at the unfolding of the beautifulness this child will bring. It'll bring you strength and confidence. It'll bring you unconditional love. It'll bring you all kinds of things. And it's to last a lifetime. Okay. I know from experience. You know, my child was not planned. I didn't really plan on having any children, but I had her, and I would not change that experience for the world ever. All right. So what do you, our challenge card is the Page of Wands. Why is that a challenge card for you guys? So if you watch my readings, my first card is very important and my last card is very important because it tells me the beginning of your story, the ending of your story, because the beginning of your story is something that doesn't want to be talked about. And these are definitely the energies of Scorpio again, those secrets and everything. Those are the things. This is your challenge card. Somebody won't talk about it. And then you're going to go through that cycle. Remember, it's going to repeat. 2002, we got this moon in Taurus, and now we got this moon in Taurus in 2021. Whatever was going on then is probably going to be sort of happening now. We go through these repeat cycles. If you don't talk about it now, whatever it is, your story cannot unfold into a beautiful, beautiful, uplifted, bonding type of story. Now, a lot of you guys had stories telling in your last week readings and this week. So I've already started Thanksgiving readings this week. So some of you had storytelling, telling your story, getting it out, that kind of a thing. And how you're going to tell it definitely is part of it. So some of you are going to, the challenge card is some of you are just not going to want to do that. And that's your choice. That is your choice. Don't run from it though. Run to it. So they're moving towards it. They're not moving away from it. If it was moving away from it, it would be this way. Okay. And somebody may have to, you know, open that door through traveling. They may have to go travel. A lot of things do not have, thank you. Thank you. So they're saying, do not do this in a text. He loves technology, but he hates it because it's separating everybody. He says, do not do whatever communication you have in a text. This is an in-person or a FaceTime. This is a thing that you need to do face to face. So whatever it is, even if it's a breakup, don't do a breakup in text. He hates that. He hates texting, to be honest. He hates it because it keeps us divided. We're losing our bonding. We're losing our heart between it because people say whatever they want between texting. He hates it. Yeah. So don't, whatever you have to communicate this week, whatever you have to stand up, whatever you have to share, whatever you have to do to unfold and allow this new chapter in December to happen, definitely, definitely release whoever's not sleeping, not eating, whatever you're going through. You're worried about Thanksgiving, you're worried about going and talking, worried about some family fight, worried about friends fighting, worried about something that's going to be brought up that really you don't want to talk about. Oh, did they, or is somebody going to spill a secret or whatever? Let them spill the secret, because whatever's to lie and unfold ahead will happen. This is in reverse. Let it go. Let it go. Let it unfold. Let it unfold. Let divine do his work. Let that movement, because the movement's there. It's not going to stop. You cannot stop the movement. You have so much power in you, but you can't stop the movement. You can't. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. All right. All right. Oops. What did I say? I can't make this stuff up. I can't make this stuff up. Whew. Wheel of Fortune, Queen of Wands, and Two of Cups. And that's how they came out. Wheel of Fortune, Queen of Wands, Two of Cups. Why is this really important? Because it's your choice, your decision. You have the wheel. You can spin it and stop it where you want it to, in a positive way or a negative way, sort of like road rage. You can get in with the road rage or you can stop it. This is about the power within you. This is time to take that power and utilize it into a positive manner, because it has a lot about to do with communication. Sorry, moved her head. It's communication. She is the master of communication. And how you communicate and articulate yourself is going to be really key. Say what you mean what you say. I've said that many, many times because it's going to bring this bond closer. It's going to unify it. It's going to unify it. And I'll tell you right now, if you bring this bond closer and you're like, wow, that didn't turn out the way it was supposed to. Yes, it did. Because the thing is, when we try to unify something from a human standpoint, manifesting something from a human standpoint, the planets and the divine and the energies say, no, we've got something better for you. Let it unfold to what is better for you. Okay. But this, the ultimate thing, however you move with this full moon and this eclipse, don't exaggerate. Don't over exaggerate. Stay to the facts because you're going to really want to over exaggerate. You're really going to want to make things happen. And they're not moving. You know why? Because they're not moving the fastest the way that you want them to move. That is, we're moving, guys. Just don't worry about it, how fast it's moving, because it's not in our timing, it's in divine timing. Because our timing is actually a false, because there's nothing really in time. It's all in the present. And it's a concept that is really, really hard to grasp, but there is no time. You know, we really don't. We created that so that we can manage ourselves. But the thing is, this is your choice. Okay, that is your choice. All right. So that is not only the full moon, the eclipse. This is so many trines and sextiles, so many energies that are. I couldn't really stay on the full moon, the whole thing, because there are so many things going on. But the good thing I want you to take away with this is a grounding time right now for you. This is a time to set the things in motion that you want and persevere through that, but set them in a motion of light and love and kindness. So whatever you do through you is what's going to manifest. So like I teach, if you want love, you've got to be that love. If you want a good job, you've got to be in a job that works your purpose and your calling, because you'll have that love there. You'll have that passion there. You'll have that desire there. If you're in a job that you just hate going to work every single day, you're in the wrong job. Really pray and meditate on that and say, open that door. This is a time for doors to be open, because we have the number 9, we have the number 10 all over the place. That means that things are ending and you are going to create a new future. Dream it and do it and believe in it. This is the thing, and final thing I'll say is that we're not supposed to be like the state of Missouri. If you're in another country, you won't understand, maybe not understand this. The Missouri state is show me and I'll believe it, or I'll believe it when I see it. Okay, this is not the way that we actually are supposed to operate, because we can manifest. We have the power to manifest so much. And the thing is, we need to believe it before we see it. It's called vision. We have a vision, and then we perceive and have that strength and power within us to actually manifest that, if that is what the divine has put us for our purpose and our calling. And if it's not, it's a stepping stone to where we're going to get. I talk about that a lot in my readings, about the stepping stone, about the dot to dot that connects to get you to your person. The destiny is the stepping stones. Everybody say, oh, it's not my destiny. People misunderstand destiny. Destiny is the stepping stones. It's the stepping stones to your future. This is that forward movement we're talking at the end of the month. It's the stepping stones to get you to your purpose and your calling. And purpose and calling changes many times in your lifetime. It doesn't mean that I'm going to have this for the rest of my life, because God changes us all the time. Divine changes us all the time for the purpose of being a conduit for someone else. It doesn't end with us. It ends through us. Okay. So I hope that helped. I hope this was a fun thing for you. I hope that you would subscribe, like, share, and come back again. This is not quite how I do my readings, but I'm going to be doing a reading. I'm like, who am I doing next? I'm doing it right after this. Aries. I'm doing Aries next. So definitely if you're in Aries, hang tight. I'll be on in about another 10 minutes and do a live reading for Aries for the week of Thanksgiving. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it was a little bit informational. I hope it lifts you up. I hope it brings you positiveness and love and light in the future. And don't forget, you can always email me if you have any questions, concerns, problems. Again, divinewarriorintuitive.com. And I will see you on the next new moon. And I hope you have a great, great Thanksgiving and a great week. Take care. Bye-bye.